Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Jay Davis. I am going to do a phone interview that will be on different platforms, but I thought I'd invite you out. It's dealing with Lynn and her pop movement. And what I mean by pop, excuse the language, it's power of the pussy. Now, I know that sounds kind of vulgar or whatever the case might be, but tune in. Let's go ahead and give her an opportunity to go ahead and speak on that. So, again, it's your boy Jay Davis, aka Damn It Boy, aka Big Brown Goofy, aka that civilized Negro that just happened to be from the projects. Let's see what's popping. Also, if you tuned in, yo, what's going on? It's your boy Jay Davis, aka that civilized Negro that just happened to make it from the hood, aka Big Brown Goofy, aka Damn It Boy. I am here with a young lady. I'm gonna call her a young lady because her mind is so strong, and women develop faster than men. But I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady through my cousin just over the weekend, and he was like, "Cuz, you got to meet my cousin, man. She's prolific. She's really passionate about what's going on." And I said, "Well, hey, I'm in Texas, and we just went through the Roe versus Wade, so I would like to, you know what? I'm gonna let this young lady introduce herself, give her credentials. How you doing, fam?"
Hello there. Hello there. I'm in Ohio, the battleground state here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I don't know what you go by when you're on your pop movement, and I want to get more into that, but introduce yourself. Tell us about a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, I'm Gloria. I am born and raised in the state of Ohio, and we are battling here. So I am passionate this election year about women's reproductive health care.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that today so that people are clear what it does and what it does not entail and why it's important for everyone to get out, get involved, and to vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we get a little bit more into that, what I would like to know about yourself is a little bit of your background. I know it's some teaching involved, but what brought you to this point of awareness where you're so passionate about this, amongst other things? And I'm sure we're going to grow to learn each other a little bit more, but what did anything transpire earlier in life? Did you see things in life? Have you already always been passionate about? I'm not going to say a woman's movement because it's just a humane thing. We're built differently. Men and women are built differently. We have different needs. Ours is simple. I tell anybody I'm so glad I got an Audi and not an Innie because I wouldn't know how to act. I wouldn't know how to live with myself with the changes. So, give us a little bit of background leading up to where you are now in the passion that you find so heavy with this year's election, but also just about women's reproductive systems.
Okay. I went to an HBCU here in Ohio called Central State University. Outside of Dayton.
HBCU? Go ahead.
Yes, in the house. And we were taught throughout my education there about the importance of being activated by anger, by tears, when there's injustice and it moves you to that passion where you're angry or you're crying because it has affected you, to not just sit down and do nothing, but instead to do something to effectuate change, because we were told that was what happened with the civil rights movement. People got together, all kinds of people got together and say, hey, this is not fair, this is not right, let's make some change here. So in college, I began being persuaded to act because I'm very much, I have my emotions on my sleeve, as they kind of say, and things touch me deeply, and some things more so than others. And so I began in college doing organizing sit-ins and protests on campus and writing for our political science newsletter to kind of like get our student body aware of the political things that were going on in and around our little city. And I've always been this way. And
Really?
so,
Okay.
yeah. And so this is no 62 years old, so I'm not going up that ladder, but I'm coming down that ladder.
Okay.
And really didn't want to activate myself to do things. I just wanted to kind of lay back and relax and watch the news and be like mostly everyone else is doing right now.
Right, recovering over COVID, just getting back to normality. Yes, yes.
Exactly, exactly. However, when they overturned Roe v. Wade, that really just put a knife in my back and started twisting it. And more so when they began, meaning the Republican Party, said, hey, when we get in later on this year, we're going after birth control next.
No, wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. And I didn't mean to be rude, but we live in a trending society where everything is a trend. So what I mean by that is people will just get on a wave and ride it without knowing
Yes.
the reason why they call that particular wave. They can be going far left, as we see in society with social media and the way we treat each
Yes.
other. Can you break down a little bit of Roe versus Wade? Because I'm still learning. I have an excellent person who is so intelligent about things like that, but I'm learning more. It's piquing my interest. So explain what Roe versus Wade to those who might not know the depth of it, if you will.
Okay. So those who don't know, you can easily ask your intelligent phone, hey, what is Roe v. Wade? If you want to take the time, it will give you a very strong breakdown of it. But Roe v. Wade gave women in this country the right to say, hey, for whatever reason that's unique to me, this is not the time for me to be pregnant, to carry this to term, whether it's a physical reason for myself, it's a physical reason with the baby, whatever. My life is at stake here. For whatever reason, this is not the right time. So let me consult with my doctor. Roe v. Wade gave women the legal right to decide to terminate a pregnancy. Now, this year, after more than 50 years of having that legalized all across the country, the Republicans said, now we want to attack this. We want to make it illegal. We want to attack it so that women can't do that.
Okay.
But it goes so much more than Roe v. Wade. It branches off into women's reproductive health care, and that's what got me so riled up and got me activated again. Because, as I said, I am 62 years old. My days of having children are over. My husband and I had 4 children. We were able to, because we had access, I had access to contraception, we could determine how many we wanted, how far apart we wanted our kids, and we even planned our kids one per each season because we didn't want them to both have the same birthday, same month. So we have one.
Y'all just trying to cut the costs. Y'all smart because my birthday's in November, and my mother always said your birthday too close to Christmas. Go ahead, I understand.
Yes. So we planned our kids one per season, 4 seasons, 4 kids. That was it. That was the beauty of birth control. It allowed us that. And this year, with Roe v. Wade being gone, it's now the Republicans are saying, the federal government saying to women across this country, no, now you cannot do that. We don't care what the reason is. They say no exceptions. No exceptions with regard to the reason you might want to seek an abortion, means that they don't care. Whether you were raped by a relative, a stranger, whether this is something that affects your body and your life is at risk. For some women, we get dangerously high blood pressure.
Absolutely.
So it's determined that you can't carry this to term. If you did, you wouldn't survive. There's so many other illnesses that people
diabetes and more. Yeah.
And heart disease. Some of these things only happen to women when they had the pregnancy hormone.
Now, let me ask
Then,
you this. Let me ask you this, and
yes,
I'm glad that you're touching on this because a lot of times, to the naked eye, to the naked ear, a lot of people just leave it as abortion, and that's the portion that I'm talking about. How, even for young ladies that decide, and when parents decide to put them on birth control, it's not giving them the right to say, okay, you can go have as much sex as you want. It's literally regulating their body as far as the pain tolerance and more. And I think that's
yes,
something that um, some people who might not pay attention or understand what's going on, this could happen to your child or your grandchildren and more,
yes,
to not have that option. So now you're stuck with, like I said, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on the fatality rate on black women getting given birth, dealing with diabetes, dealing with high blood pressure more. So I just wanted to put that out there for whoever's listening because it's not about
yes.
just the right to have an abortion.
No,
It
it
goes
isn't.
deeper and it doesn't touch men. It touches us emotionally and more to see your wife go through things. And it's pros and cons with things, but I'm glad that your emphasis is on all the things that this will impact. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Now, this is why we're expanding this to say women's reproductive health care. It's not just about abortion that has women angry about Roe v. Wade being overturned. When
Absolutely.
you say our reproductive health care, you're saying to us, not only are we not going to let you terminate that pregnancy because maybe that baby can't survive. It's got some really serious genetic defects, like the skull is missing, it's missing organs. It cannot survive. And any woman who's had a baby, carried that child to term, and loved it, knows that is very excruciating to make that decision
Mm-hmm.
that that child you and your husband wanted so desperately just can't survive. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more out of love and care that a couple will decide, let's terminate because it would be more humane to do it now. And so they make that choice. And I support that right. That's up to the woman, her husband, her doctor, and her higher power. Whether
Mm-hmm.
she's Muslim, whether she's Buddhist, she's Christian, to her and her higher power. No
Mm-hmm.
one else. No men, no government, just them. Now, when we talk about reproductive health care, we're talking about a woman's right to tubal ligation. That is having her tubes tied so that she cannot get pregnant. Period. Now, it sometimes you can make it so it's reversed, so she can later on decide to have
Right.
kids.
Tuber reversal.
Like guy, she can have that reversed. It also includes IVF treatments, in vitro fertilization treatments. Some couples cannot conceive the traditional fun way, so they have to undergo IVF treatments. Well, with Roe v. Wade, that's going to have an impact on that. That will not be
Mm.
available to them either. It also goes further than that. We're talking about a D&C. When a woman has a miscarriage, for whatever reason, she miscarries. Well, then she's got to have a D&C to clean out all that old leftover tissues, so
Correct.
that she doesn't become septic and die
Go
because
in
of.
toxic shock and things. Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you know it. And those are the things that go into reproductive health care. Those are unique to women, not to men. So when people say, well, people who want abortions, people want reproductive, no, it's not people want reproductive health care. Women want and need reproductive health care. So
Mm-hmm.
we are talking contraception. We are talking the ability to do family planning. We're talking about the right to good health care after a miscarriage. We're talking about IVF. All of that is reproductive health care. So let's not just say just abortion.
And
So,
then on top of that, this is something that came to me. More now in society, we have the right to be emotional. Therapists. Um, it's just a world where people are reacting emotionally, and it's okay to have emotional feelings.
Yes.
So imagine what would happen with all of this being taken away. We're not just talking about postpartum. We're talking about real situations that it does impact households, families,
Yes. Yes.
marriages. You know, no matter if she's feeling good. I know if some people miss their birth control pill, it's horrible. Not only in the sense of the heavy ovulations that can happen, that is regular